Well, hello there. Welcome to Hanging with the Hags. Well, today Vicki and I are hanging out at the Great Sand Dunes National Park and Preserve. And by looking in the camera lens right now, you're like, what? I don't see any sand dunes. But just you wait. As we make this turn, you're going to see the largest sand dunes in North America. These sand dunes encompass 30 square miles of dunes. And there's 2 creeks and or rivers that go on either side of the dunes, east and west. So during the mountain snow melts in the spring, the rivers actually flow quite a bit and help to contain the dunes. And what was the highest point on the dune?
I think 750 feet.
750 feet is what it says, but these dunes look way taller than that. So we are boondocking in a location just outside the national park, but we're coming down here to check out the dunes. It is just literally the craziest thing as you come off of the highway 25, I think, goes northwest or north-south in Colorado. So Colorado Springs, and then you come down to Pueblo and then head west. And then you go over a mountain range to get in here, and then all of a sudden in the middle of nowhere these massive dunes just come up out of the earth. It is literally the craziest thing. And so we are driving down to, this is the point at which you could park and then go out and take a trail out onto the dunes.
It's a little windy today.
And so we're going to go out and get some pictures, but I don't think we're going to be doing much traipsing around. The wind has been blowing quite substantially here, and probably can't tell that from the video, but plenty of parking, that's not an issue. And here we are, and there lies the dunes. Just the craziest thing. Who would have thought? Well, we're gonna go out and take some pictures, go for a little walk, and this will be just part of the video for this destination. We're boondocking on some BLM land, so I'll have to do some video and some drone footage over there. And yeah, stay tuned for the rest of it. Thanks for watching. Yabba dabba doo. We'll be at a campsite near you. Alrighty, well, we're heading back to the campsite, and this is the road in, and this road is physically called Lake Como Road. We're about 16 miles or so from the entrance to the Great Sand Dunes National Park and Preserve. And this is a BLM campsite. If you're looking to try and find it, you would need to type in the Sacred White Shell Mountain Campground or BLM, something to that effect. We're about probably a mile down this dirt road. It's actually a very well maintained dirt road. On the left here you'll see a helipad, and then those mountains in the background, that's the Rio Grande National Park. I'm not sure exactly how many campsites are down here. We didn't really do much bike riding or anything in this area specifically, but this helipad on the left, there's a large campsite here on the right that's currently empty, and then we're in this next one. There's a Brinkley just beyond us, and then there is another large one down, and there's a road intersection down here, and then as you go up the mountain there's a trail that goes up that gets a lot steeper, that you're not going to be taking any big rigs down there. But we kind of lucked out. We got here early on a Sunday. We left Colorado Springs at about 8, and we're gonna just take a ride down. We left Colorado Springs around 8. It was about a 3.5 hour drive. We ended up getting some gas along the way. And these two sites were already empty, so that was nice. So we pulled into the second one there. It was a little bit bigger and a little flatter. And then, yeah, we're here for 2 nights. So again, this is in close proximity to the Great Basin National Park. We did some videos.
The Great Sand Dunes.
Oh, yeah, Great Sand Dunes National Park. And we did some videos and some pictures already of that, and what a remarkable national park. So we're certainly excited to share that with you guys, and I think tomorrow we're going to do a little bit of hiking maybe in the national park, and yeah, so got here pretty early on a Sunday. We definitely saw a lot of rigs leaving, heading east as we were coming west. And there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so other people boondocking out in front of us. And again, this is just one of those spots. It's free camping. You get 15 days. Within a 30-day period is what the sign said. No special use permit required or anything like that. And then there is a campground in the national park. Of course, we're way too big to fit inside of there, but we did drive through it. If you had like a little minivan or something, or a very small trailer, you could fit in there. And then right here on the left, this is actually a pretty good area. You could probably fit 4 or 5 rigs in there. And I think this is probably the furthest that I'm gonna go. So I'm just gonna turn around. But as you can see, there's another trailer just down the road on the left, a couple of cars. I see a tent. And then the road just gets steeper and steeper as it goes up into the Rio Grande National Forest. But yeah, we kind of lucked out. We do a little bit of map reconning. We do some reviews just to make sure that it is somewhat big rig friendly for us. And then if we get into a spot where we're like, yeah, I don't know, then we could either walk down the road to scout it out. We could throw the drone up and shoot it down the road. Or we yank off one of our e-bikes is what we would normally do. But this one, just from the beginning, the road looked completely fine. Now, this would be about as far as we would go. So you would, if you're a big rig, you'd have access to maybe 1, 2, 3, the first 4 or so sites. And then if this was not available, then you'd probably need to turn around and go somewhere else. There are a couple of paid campgrounds in the area, and then there are a couple of other state-run campgrounds in the area that we had earmarked for backup plans. Now, the state-run campgrounds were part of the Colorado Wildlife Area or something. And from what I read, it sounded like you either had to have a fishing license to camp there or some Colorado wildland pass that you would get free with a fishing license. So we didn't do any research into that. We were just gonna show up if this was not available. We were just gonna go there. It's about probably 15 miles down the road towards the park, and then you kind of head west. But if this wasn't available, then we were gonna go there and just kind of figure it out. It was a very large campground on a lake, actually, which was pretty cool, called, what was that lake called? There. It's called San Luis Lake. And then there was another reservoir that we passed coming in, Smith Reservoir, that they both had campgrounds that had availability from what I could tell. But there was some special pass permits where this was free. So we're like, you know what? We'll go for this first, and it ended up working out. It doesn't always work out, but it ended up working out this time around, so that's cool. And here we are, home sweet home. It is a little windy today, so I don't know that I'm going to do much drone flying. It's supposed to die down at dusk, and then tomorrow is supposed to be really nice, a little bit more sunnier than it is today. Alrighty, so we got back to the RV. We had a great time at the Great Sand Dunes National Park. I think I might have messed that up. But yeah, really cool national park. We had an amazing time in Colorado Springs the last 7 days. I didn't do any camping there. I didn't do really any videos there. We were staying at the Air Force Academy Park, and I'm a little leery on what I film on military bases. But if you are retired military or have access to military bases, the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, it was a very nice campground. It was a little spendy for military. It was $45 a night, full hookups of course. But it was in a great location to visit some family in the area. So it was nice to hang out with James and Elisa and the kids for a week. And now we're off. We're back off and running. We got 2 nights here, and then we're heading south to New Mexico, and then we're cutting over on
The
40.
Petrified Forest National Park.
Yeah, hitting Petrified Forest National Park on this is like north side of Arizona, and then we'll jet up into Utah, Nevada, and Oregon, Washington, and back home on 11 May, which is
Right around the corner.
right around the corner, only about 2 weeks away. So anyways, thanks for watching. And I guess that's it. Yabba dabba doo. We'll be at a campsite near you.